Raising Kanan went out with a bang, honey. One of the best solid seasons of a show that I've seen in quite a long time, especially when it comes to the Power universe. Kudos to the writing staff over there at Raising Kanan. Y'all did the dang on thing. Every episode was on point. And y'all know that is big coming from me, especially when it comes to the Power universe, child. But they did it. Now, if you guys watched my Raising Kanan review from last week, I gave you guys a lot of predictions. Y'all have been asking me to get back into my predictions bag, and I did. And I was right about quite a few things. Mainly, oh, by the way, my name is Keisha. This is the Color Me Pynk channel, and this is my all tea, all shade review of Power Book 3, Raising Kanan, Season 3, Episode 10 review. Okay, so I was right. I was correct last week with saying that they were not going to unalive Lou, that they were going to send him to a rehab. And I said that they also could have sent him upstate to be with their family or possibly with Symphony. But it was, in fact, rehab. And he had a conversation with Raq, with a therapist, about, their relationship and everything that he's gone through. And she thought that the therapist asked for her to come, but lo and behold, it was Lou, because he'd told them that she was the most important person in his life. And that made her guard go down. Finally, because she was always on the defense of everybody blaming me. I'm always helping everybody and everybody want to blame me. But that made her finally soften and see him. And they had a conversation. And like she told him, like she loves him and will do anything for him. And she just wants him to get better. And like he told her, a lot of the things that I've done, I can't take back. And it, it's really messed him up. It really has. This life has messed Lou up, child. But they thankfully got some clarity there. But Lou is still in a very, 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 very dark space. And I don't know what they're going to do with his character next season, but I can't go through another season of Drake Lou. I just cannot. It's either let him ride off into the sunset and be a hip hop producer, or turn him into the ultimate Terminator, because I just cannot. I also said on last week's review that the scene with Raq being in a car and the drive-by happening, I said that was going to happen early on in this episode. That's not going to be later on in the episode. And I was correct about that. You can go back and fact check. So after she left Lou at the rehab, she's at a light looking at the kids playing on a basketball court, and a car pulls up next to her with that heat and got the blast in, but she was quick on her feet and put the pedal to the metal and ski skirted off. So nothing really happened to her except for some broken windows. But now she realizes that it's really hot out here in these streets and that Ronnie is coming for her top. Okay. One thing that none of us expected to happen, but Crystal tells Kanan that she is late on her period, child. Now, mind you, before that, she was pressing the issue of them being boyfriend and girlfriend, and he was like, "Nah, I'm not on that, Crystal. I'm not on that. I'm already dealing with my mother. I'm not trying to be nobody's baby daddy." Why that boy sound like a mixture of 50 Cent and Sylvester Stallone, child? But Kanan was looking like, I know you lying. I ain't about to be nobody's daddy. And I don't think that she ends up having the baby, or either she lying and trying to trap him into being with her. But like I said a few episodes back, when I Googled what his baby mama's name is, it was not Crystal. So she is not going to be Sean's mother. So I can't wait to see how they going to deal with that situation. Either he going to make her get rid of it, or like I said, she lying. I'm wondering if she lying, because she seemed like the type that would lie about being pregnant. I could see that. I can see that. Howard has his badge and his pow taken away, child, because the heat is coming on him with the whole Nicole situation and them finding out that he put it in Nicole's daddy to basically point the finger at Detective Burke. So they take his gun, his pow and the badge and everything away, and he realizes that, yeah, it's about to be curtains for me. I gotta get on the good foot. No Nicki Minaj. So old girl Aisha finally comes out to Juke and say that she like her and give her a look on the lips, child. And Juke looking like, girl, why you ain't been said this before I applied to the army, girl? And so, Juke tells her, I'm about to leave. Like, I'm about to go. That's the only way I'm going to be able to get away from my family and everything that come along with them and for me to have my own life. And at this point, we still have pure Jukebox. So whatever happens to turn her into what we saw on Power still has not happened yet, which leads me to believe that I don't think she's going to go to the army. I don't think that she's going to go to the army yet. I don't think that's going to happen in season 4. I really honestly don't. Because right now she's okay with Raq. She's okay with her daddy. She's okay with Kanan. She got a little crush or whatever. But I really think that something is going to end up happening in season 4 that deters her from going to the army just yet. And whatever that big thing is that turns her cold obviously has not happened yet. Famous tells Kanan that Raq was blasted on. Now, let me say this, because when Famous pulled up to the apartment, once again, Kanan got an attitude. What you doing here, Famous? Did nobody ask you to come over here? I'm over here talking to Crystal. We over here dealing with some stuff. What's the problem, Famous? And it's just like, stop coming at him like that. Like he is a burden. Like you just cannot stand him. Like he really did something to you. And Kanan really getting on my nerves with this little attitude of his. Because everybody ain't your mama. Who you talking to, little boy? He done got one little body and think he done did something. Boy, sit down somewhere. So, Famous peeped that Crystal was sitting there looking like Brenda got a baby. But he ain't even ask what was going on. But as soon as Kanan found out that Raq had been blasted on, he immediately was like, oh no, hold up, wait a minute, let me get that in it. Like he was not playing about his mama. So Kanan goes to Snap, Crackle, and Pop, little bar or whatever they be kicking it at, and pull up on Ronnie like, I told you not to do nothing with my mother, Ronnie. You don't want it with me. I told you that. You better get him, Snap, Crackle, and Pop. And Ronnie was like, ain't nobody saying nothing to you, little boy. I ain't scared of you. And he was like, calm down, everybody. So Kanan was like, you don't want it with me, Ronnie. I'm telling you, you don't want it with me. I'm out here. It's like, okay, Kanan. So Snap, Crackle, and Pop pull them apart. They don't want the smoke. And pretty much at this point, they lead us to believe that the line has been drawn in the sand between Ronnie and Kanan. So next thing we know, Famous at the crib with his mother complaining about how it's the wrong time for Lou to be going to rehab because, he got this record deal on the line, when the feds bust into the crib and arrest him for pow-powing someone. So, he like, what are y'all talking about? I ain't did nothing. Like, like he's clueless as to what they're talking about. The mama is hysterical, saying, get off my son. Get off my son, te quiero mucho. So Howard pull up on Raq and tell her, yo, like the heat is on me. They getting closer. which means they getting closer to you. We need to solve this. Marvin got to take the fall. Marvin got to take the fall for us. And she looking like, my brother got to take the fall for us. Excuse you? Like, who you I know you ain't saying that to me. And he brings it up, I think, like several times. And every time she just kind of looking at him like they made us believe that she was almost even considering it. But I knew that she wasn't going to never do that to Marvin, because I honestly think she already did it before. Catch. So Kanan is taking a walk in the neighborhood with Juke. They finally catching up, because, you know, this season they've been apart from each other. And so she telling him about the army. He's like, yo, Juke, you really gonna go to the army? You really gonna do that, Juke? I'm gonna perfect my Kanan voice next season. And so he was like, you know, like surprised that it got into that point. And next thing you know, a van pull up and kidnaps him. And he like, I know this is Ronnie. I know this was Ronnie. Ronnie, he tripping. And so he's making sure that she knows that it was Ronnie that did this. So one of the dudes holding the blicky to Juke's face, like he really gonna blast off on her. And so she's staring down the barrel. Dude finally jump in the car and they speed off, and she go running back to the crib to tell Raq what happened. And so I guess along the way she ran into Marvin. Her and Marvin rush into the house and they tell Raq what happened. So Raq is like, not my baby. And so she was like, look, Howard, you know, this is where the line ends between me and you. He was like, nah, you know. Now, mind you, he had just said some real hateful stuff to her, saying to her that her and Kanan was like the worst thing that ever happened to him. Which was like, dang. But low-key it was kind of. But you pushed it. She wasn't trying to tell you. You the one that wanted to know, because you was trying to look for somebody to help you with your spleen or whatever it was. So you brought this on yourself. But anywho, so he was like, nah, you know, I'm going to help regardless. Like, I ain't a police officer no more right now. Like, it is what it is. So we go back to Famous in the jail with his mama in a holding room getting questioned by detectives. And he keep on saying, like, I ain't did nothing. I don't know what y'all talking about. Give me a lawyer. This, that, and the third. And the detectives tell him, like, your mother actually did a great job, because she was the one that turned in the blicky. And he was like, Mom, what are you doing? Like, why would you do that? And she was like, because when you came home, you said that you was in some stuff and I didn't know what was going on. But I'm like, Mama, why would you turn in a weapon? What is wrong with you? So the body that was on the blicky was somebody named Franklin or something. Don't give me the line. So they basically was telling Famous, like, if you give us some information that we looking for, we'll let you go. Like, or give you a deal or whatever. So we didn't go back to that. So we're left on a cliffhanger going into next season on whether or not, oh no, I'm wrong. He did say when they was still trying to pump him for information, he was still like, no, give me a lawyer. Yeah, he was holding it down. He was holding it down still. Now, I don't know if that's going to still happen next season where he not going to cooperate, but we shall see. After that, Lou tells his therapist that this is all he'll ever be. Like, cause he's still on his Drake era. And he's like, this is it for me. Like, I'm never going to be more than what I am. Like, he's still unable to get over this hump and what he's done and everything. And he's down bad. Like, he is really going through it. And I'm glad that they showing the effects of that lifestyle and what it can do to you, because on most shows like this, we really don't get to see this side of the game. We always see the money and the cars, the jewelry, the chicks or whatever and all of that, the pow and the fights and all of that. But we don't really see how it mentally affects people. You know what I'm saying? And I'm glad that they're showing that with Lou's character, even though we make fun of it. But that stuff take a toll on people. I heard taking lives and destroying your community and all of these different things. So the captain and FBI try to get, like I said, Famous to snitch on Howard, but it doesn't work. Raq goes to Stefano because Ronnie won't $500K in order for her to get Kanan back. So she goes to Stefano for the loan. He was like, well, if I give you this money, I'm going to put a bag on top of that. You know what I'm saying? And she was like, I understand. And so since he got a little thing for her, he gave it to her. He was like, all right, I got you. So next thing we know, back at the rehab, Lou goes into one of like the utility closets and gets a extension cord. And I knew right then and there what was about to happen. And so he go in his room and he tries to unalive himself. And I'm like, Lou, what are you doing? But thank God he wasn't able to go through with it. He ended up just sitting on the floor crying. But like, yeah, it's really bad for Lou. Like really, truly bad. Like, and like I said, it's either season 4 is going to go one or two ways. Either he going to be on some kumbaya stuff somewhere else, or he going to turn into the Terminator. One or the other, because we can't continue down this path. Like they going to have to pick a side for Lou's character. And I think it's going to be the Terminator side. I really do. I think that he going to be able to just like see, because he said this is all I'll ever be. So it's either going to be he going to accept that and just be on some cold blood type time. That's the only thing that I can really see happening with Lou. Or like I said, if they have him ride off into the sunset and go on and do something else, maybe that's a possibility. I did see online people were wondering if Lou was Ghost's father. No, I don't think so at all. Like that would have made Kanan and Ghost cousins. And how would Kanan not have known that was his cousin? How would he have not known that Kanan was his cousin? Like, no. And then the age difference is way too far away, because Kanan, 16 on the show, 15, 16? How would, no, it's way too old of an age gap for Lou to be his daddy. Like, no. And then I know I saw a lot of people saying that back in Power season 1, when 50 is in jail and the dude sitting across from him is Famous doesn't pass away, it was never acknowledged or said that was Famous. That's what people are drawing the conclusion, that it was Famous, but they never said that was him, or he never uttered Famous's name. That has never been shown or anything like that to my knowledge. So I think that people are reaching with that. Just because he was in the cell with another light-skinned person don't mean that it was Famous. Okay. I really honestly think that Famous is going to pass away. And that's the reason why he named his son after him. Named him Sean. Duh. But anyway, we'll see. So, where was I at? Raq and Howard got the money. They go to the pickup to get Kanan. Ronnie asks for the money. And Kanan comes out. And Kanan was like, basically, y'all fell into our trap. This whole thing was a setup. And Raq was looking like, I know you lie. She literally looking at her son like, I have turned this child into a natural born. Like, what? Her and Howard was looking like this little mega mind here. And so Ronnie was like, yeah, he the one that wanted the $500K or whatever. I just wanted the blocks or whatever. He was like, but we rich now. And so as Ronnie is looking through the bag of money, Kanan pulls out his blicky and pows him in the back of his head. So Ronnie is to the bed. And I predicted that too, that Ronnie was going to die. So we're rid of him. And so as soon as he unalives him, Raq don't hesitate. She immediately pull out her blicky and points it at Howard. And Howard looking at her like, really? And he even look at Kanan, was like, you see this? You see this? This is your mom. This is the witch that gave birth to you. And right after that, pow. Shot him in the head. He down. And Kanan looking at him like, why would you do that? Like, because regardless, that was my pops. Like, and she was like, it had to be done. Come on, you're going with me. Marvin come in, handle the rest of the strays or whatever. And then they dip out. They run out or whatever. Get in the car and they speed off. But you can tell going into the next season, Kanan really geared to be looking like, I can't trust this lady. I can't trust her for nothing. It's so easy for her to unalive my pop in front of me. But on the other end, he don't know that the feds is coming after him and that he was the one that was pushing hard for Marvin to take the fall. But with him being unalived, they're on the scene with Ronnie. She'll set it up to make it seem like he was the one that was working with Ronnie and all of that stuff, and on some dirty cop type time, so they can get the heat off of Marvin, which is smart and which was genius, and it did need to be done. But it was like, dang, Raq, dang. Now, mind you, when they was running to the cars and stuff to leave, the camera panned like it was the view of someone's eyes. And as soon as they ski skirted off, we see the camera pan on these black Timberlands coming to the room. And of course, it was Neek. I was right about that. I was like, Neek ain't dead. Neek is not unalive. They pan the camera up and he looking down on Ronnie like, that's what you get, playboy. Now, mind you, his one eye looking like Forrest Whitaker. And then he got a big old, like, mark, like a scar. Like a scar going down his face. Like his face is messed up. And Neek is alive. He is alive going into season 4. So I don't know if he gonna be able to get back on the way he was, or if because I know y'all did inform me that in one of the seasons of Power that Ghost and Tommy ran into Unique, and like he was basically like one of these people that's out here on the street and still like stuck back in the day or whatever, like his mind was gone. Let me know what episode that was, y'all, so I can go back and look at it for myself. But it seems like this is the beginning of Unique's official downfall. Like he'll never be back to where he was, because I'm pretty sure Pernessa ain't gonna want to deal with him no more than that eye. And Raq for sure ain't gonna be wanting to sit on that Peter Weeder looking at that face. So yeah, I don't know where things is gonna end up with Unique, but it's not looking really too good. But other than that, this was a spectacular season of Raising Kanan, a spectacular season finale. I give the season finale an A. I give the overall season an A. It was stellar, chef's kiss. Right now, it is the best Power show, the best Power show out of all of the other franchise shows. They kicking everybody's butts. The girls are going to have to bring it. BMF will be coming on this week, one of these weeks. And they got big shoes to fill, because I was not feeling last season of BMF at all. Was not. I did enjoy the last season of Power. I really enjoyed Power Book Ghost or whatever. I enjoyed that season. I love that season finale. I love the way that they did that. They stepped up their game. But right now, Raising Kanan is doing the dang on thing. Y'all let me know down below in the comment section what y'all thought about the episode. Make sure to thumbs up this video, like and subscribe, and hit that notification bell button. I love you guys, and I'll see you on the next video. Goodbye.